Hello folks, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason Rouse, and we normally talk a little bit about sort of Irish music, Uilleann pipes, tin whistles. Today I'm going to be looking at a 3D printed chanter. I've had this one in my possession for a couple of months, maybe half a year now, and yeah, I'm very happy to be able to show it off and explain it. My whole time has been taken up by working on a new album, which is out now. If you haven't had it already, have a look. It's cracker. One of the best Uilleann pipes albums of the last 6 months, probably. So before we get stuck in, I just wanted to maybe say a little thanks to everyone who's supported the channel so far. I don't know if you've noticed or if anyone else has noticed, or maybe it doesn't matter to anyone else, but it matters to me. I've just jumped over the 2,000 subscribers mark. So a big thanks to everyone who's been involved with that and helped me get over the line with that one. Yeah, it's been absolutely brilliant. Thanks so much. Give yourselves a big pat on the back. And thanks for everyone who watches the episode, watches the channel, subscribes, likes, leaves me comments. It's all added up and it's all helped me get to this stage here. So yeah, big round of applause to everyone. Thank you so much. Those of you who follow the channel will know that I have maybe a lot of pipes, a lot of chanters, a lot of nice stuff hanging around, and this one is, yeah, maybe my latest chanter. It is a 3D printed chanter, so it's made out of plastic. It's been 3D printed, and the reed in it is a normal reed, which I'll come back to. I've had a bit of interest in 3D printed instruments for a bit of a while now. I've actually looked into 3D printing and 3D scanning some of my favourite tin whistles to make copies of them, to make replicas, but I could never find like a proper way of doing it, and doing it a way that was, how shall we say, food safe, because you know people put the tin whistles in your mouth. Maybe it's not so much on Uilleann pipes, that's not too bad. So if anyone has any idea about that sort of thing, let me know. And maybe something that I don't talk about on the channel very much is actually a practicing contemporary artist as well. I do a lot of sort of paintings and things like that, but I do a lot of work with like digital, you know, kind of weird out there art pieces, and some of it involves 3D printing, 3D scanning. So I've made some artworks based around that sort of thing as well. So I'm no stranger to the world of unusual innovations and that sort of thing. In fact, actually, maybe when I get around to talk about my Uilleann set, I can maybe talk about how the keys on it I designed using Google, what's it called these days? Google SketchUp, and then I had them laser cut using a CNC machine, or was it water cut? I can't remember. Anyway, so yeah, I'm no stranger to using new modern technologies to help out with my piping journey. So this is a really interesting chanter. I can't wait to show it to you all. Alright, let me give you maybe a little bit of background on the instrument I have in front of me here. They're 3D printed by a fella called Lucas Rinaldi Alonso, who I think is from Buenos Aires, or from Argentina anyway, originally. But now Lucas lives in London, and a couple of years ago, maybe it was it 2 years ago, Lucas and his lovely partner came up to southwest Wales and came to our piping festival that we have out in Ferryside, and with him he brought a handful of unusual looking plastic chanters that he had printed and then painted up himself. And yeah, they were kind of the talk of the town. A lot of people trying them out and giving them a go and see how they got on with them. Very interesting, yeah. From what I gathered, in Buenos Aires or in Argentina, they have like a big piping community down there, and they can make the bags, they can make the bellows, they can make all that sort of stuff, the crack and the reeds and everything themselves. But making the chanters was proving to be a bit of a tricky situation. And Lucas, who was a bit of a dab hand at the 3D printing, decided that he'd have a go at 3D printing his own chanters. And so this was a nice, easy way for them to get their hold on to decent quality sets at kind of a more affordable price, because you know chanters are expensive, and even like a cheap chanter you're looking maybe like 500-600 quid, you know, and then a decent like top quality chanter you could be spending, I don't know, £2,000 on. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's too much, but I don't dictate the market. It's just how much things cost these days. So yeah, coming up with a sort of cheap and affordable way of making a decent chanter that sounds good was top priority. And yeah, Lucas brought a couple down for us all to try out, and they were just fantastic. Yeah, really nice, interesting chanters, good sound, good tone, good intonation. Yeah, he's made a couple of chanters for some friends of mine, and he's actually made this one and sent it to me, which I'm very, very happy about. It's, like I said, it's been in my sort of pipes case. You might have seen it in the background in here in some of my other videos, but I haven't really got around to actually giving it a blast and giving it like a thorough going over, which is what we're going to do today. So first things first, what are my impressions of the chanter? From the outside, it looks kind of normal. It looks kind of like a normal chanter. I've asked, actually, I should probably point out, Lucas does these in whatever paint job you want. So yeah, when he came down to Wales, he did one in like the style of like the Welsh flag with the dragon and everything. You could have any crazy kind of design you want. I wanted something quite simple and quite plain, kind of traditional, super tradish. And this is what we have here. So it's like a black sort of faux ebony. It's kind of shiny. I think he paints them. I'm not sure what color the actual, I'm not sure if he used like resin or if it's the plastic. I don't really know how he's made these ones. I'm not sure if it's black originally or if it's like a different color and then he just paints it black. But it has like a bit of a, it feels like it's been painted, you know. It has like a bit of a tactility to it, which is not entirely unpleasant. Actually, quite nice. And yeah, and it's nice and shiny, so not, you know, not too sticky. It doesn't feel like wood. It just certainly feels like a different material. And maybe the first thing that struck me about it was the weight. It's incredibly lightweight. Yeah, there's like nothing to it really compared to like even my like lightest and skinniest wooden chanters. I know there's no keys or anything or any metal work on it, but the plastic itself is much lighter than the wood. But I presume that it's probably equally as dense. Being 3D printed, I don't really know, but it certainly carries the tone pretty well. And which we'll see in a minute whenever I strap them on, plug them in. These mounts at the bottom are all part of the same design. They're not like twisty or detached or anything. It's just part of the same design that's been painted. The same at the top. And this maybe brings me to my first maybe minor problem with this. This part here is part of the same print, so it's like been printed to have this as part of it, and I'm just worried that it's kind of wobbly. And I've seen like chanters that are metal like this where this bit is broken. In fact, I've owned one. Not that I broke it, but they do break if they're not. It's like, you know, it's something of a stress point really, isn't it? Yeah. So this part down here is plastic as well, and it's actually quite small. I think I prefer like a larger hole at the top, but it works. It functions fine. It's not a problem really. Yeah, I would be. Maybe it needs like a little ladder underneath it, kind of thing that what like Killian O'Brien does and some of his followers do. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe this is like my only thing so far that I'm not 100% happy with. And there's no metal, like I said before, there's no like metal ferrules. It doesn't really need, and it's not made out of wood. It's not going to expand. It's not going to contract. It's not going to crack. It's made out of plastic. And so maybe that's something that's quite handy as well. Yeah, maybe not as adverse to temperature changes and that sort of thing. Yeah, so 2 pieces of plastic, one for the head, one for the body. All around pretty nice. The holes, there's no scallops or anything like that. It's just like a standard sort of simple chanter. It's kind of how I like it. Happy with that. Now, I do believe that this chanter is a copy of a chanter made by Hubert Quisto, who is from, I'm going to say the Netherlands. I'm not 100% sure. But he did actually used to live in Cardiff, or close to Cardiff, which is where I live now. But our paths have never crossed. But I have had some of his like sets in for like fixing up and tuning up, and they're just lovely sets really. Yeah, really, really nice. Not too expensive as well, I suppose. But yeah, they make the right sounds. Basically like a Leo kind of copy type thing. Yeah, really good sets. Maybe a nice place to start. Or if it's what you've got, that's what you got. And yeah, it's a nice chanter, nice and skinny, kind of like the chanter that I started playing on. No keys, but I'm sure we can get up to the upper octave stuff nice and easy with that. Maybe we'll have a go at doing some half holing as well. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so he's like measured the bore, measured where the holes go, and then just basically made copies of it. And like I said, Lucas will do like different paint jobs depending on what your preference is. And I asked him for like a very simple, you know, sort of ebony with ivory type design. And I don't know if we can pick it up, or maybe I'll do like a cutaway for it. But I asked him to do like an M. Egan type thing. So my favorite or one of my favourite pipe makers of all time is Michael Uilleann, who was a pipe maker maybe based in Liverpool. Was he from Galway originally, something like that? But yeah, about 150, 200 years ago. And yeah, he would stamp his chanters and his pipes with M and then Egan, E-G-A-N, or Egan. And I thought it'd be quite funny for this one to have M3D-G-A-N, so Michael 3D Egan. I don't know. It's the small things that keep you going, isn't it, right? Yeah, so the Michael 3D Egan chanter. Anyway, yeah, let's get the top off and I'll have a look. The reed is made by Lucas as well, and he tells me that he's not a fantastic reed maker, but I'm sure he's very, very good and very, very confident. You could probably put any kind of reed in this and it'll be grand, really. Well, let's see. Let's get this out. There we go. Always stressful doing that. Maybe one of my slight worries on this is that the inside of it has, whenever you 3D print stuff, it does it in layers. It goes and then it adds it all up as if you're building, I don't know, Lego blocks on top of each other. And you can kind of feel on the inside where the mold marks are, or whatever. I don't know what you would even call it, but yeah, you can sort of feel those marks on the inside. And maybe it makes taking it out of here a little bit tricky. Maybe it just needs to be sanded down on the inside or something. Yeah, let's try that again. Things I do for this channel. Yeah, it's not quite a perfect, out and in kind of job. Maybe that's another one of my observations around this chanter. Easily solved, I suppose, if you were to put a metal cap on it, nice and handy. But yeah, for now, something that we can work on. I don't know. Looks like a decent chanter reed. Yeah, should be nice and straightforward, nice and easy-ish to play. I must say that it's the winding on it's really good, and I know it's not an indication of a good reed or anything like that, but yeah, I've never used a winder for winding my reeds. I always do it by hand or just use tape or something like that instead. Terrible, but it looks like a decent reed. Makes the right noise. That's how you test a reed. That's the crow. Inside looks good. Yeah, all the right bits and pieces. Yeah. Should we give it a go? Let's pop them in. Let's pop that sucker in. Yeah, see what I mean? It's kind of I'm putting it in there and I'm kind of worried that I'm going to break it. I'm a bit heavy-handed when it comes to pipes. Maybe that's why my favourite set of pipes is the Taylor set, because they're very, very robust. There was a piper who had the Taylor brothers make him a very, very robust set of pipes that were covered in metal and everything like that, because as part of his vaudeville show he used to throw them across the stage. But I won't be doing that. Just the usual in and out. Taking the chanter in and out. Oh dear. Alright, let's give this a go. Well, it's certainly making all the right sounds. Maybe a tad too hard to play for me. I like everything super soft, easy blowing. Maybe when we try it with the set all going, maybe it'll be a bit too hard pressure for the upper octave stuff. But we'll see. We'll persevere. I mean, it's newish, I guess. Reeds like this, they take a little bit of settling in. If you were to buy a new chanter from any maker, it'll be a little bit hard pressing at the start, and the more you play it, the more it the more it evolves with you. Yeah, let's see how we get on. Ooh, hello. Well, the bottom D is great. It's actually, yeah, quite loud. Nice volume change. Sounds roughly in tune as well. It's very satisfying. I can't say enough about that. Yeah, Yeah, upper octave stuff. What's the separation like? And how's the back D? Yeah, very steady back D. No sinking, no craning, no gurgles, none of that nonsense. Yeah, you left your finger, the note comes out. It's pretty unusual for Uilleann pipes. All right, what's the upper octave like? Sounded good. A little bit, I don't know, maybe a little bit squirrely around these sort of fingers. It's kind of hard to explain, but maybe you heard it in that sort of rundown there. Maybe it's just me being a little bit out of practice at the minute. But yeah, maybe some chanters, like, they handle those triplets a lot easier than others. Yeah, and with an opener, a more open style chanter, they tend to be a little bit more difficult in communicating those notes. Yeah, that's not too bad actually. Maybe I just need some time to get used to it. Yeah, I don't usually play such like a by modern, I don't mean like in modern materials. I don't usually play such a modern chanter. I'm more used to playing the older ones, which definitely lean back into those kind of pippity poppity kind of sounds. But it's making all the right sounds basically so far. I'm very happy with that. What's the tuning like? Sharp, and the upper octave A is doing that thing that my other chanter does, where it actually performs better with 2 fingers off instead of 3 or this one. Yeah, upper octave G is a little bit flat. Just needs a bit of extra pressure. Could just be like the reed being U and everything as well. Yeah, big separation between the 2 E's, which is kind of par for the course with Uilleann pipes. You'll see a lot of pipers playing the E's off the knees to try and bring them into tune with each other. Like maybe Leo Flynn is a really good example of that. Yeah, it can be fixed, can be remedied, but yeah, it's not out of the ordinary really. Yeah, just really can't get over that bottom D, and just having to keep reminding myself that it's like a plastic chanter that's been 3D printed. Oh, it sounds so good. Yeah, so kind of out of tune for my set. I'll get the chanter tuned up, maybe with some tape over the A and the G, and I'll get back to you. We'll have some tunes to give you like a full, experience, I guess. I've kind of got it tuned up-ish, and with the set itself, and the pipes that I have, they take very, very little pressure. They're nice and easy to play, especially if you're playing for like 12 hours a day. This is a new chanter, and it takes a fraction more pressure than I would normally like, but like I said, it'll probably ease itself out over the years or over the months as I play it a little bit more. And yeah, what should we do? I don't have any tunes that are sort of 3D printed or 3D adjacent, but for sure we'll give it a go, and just so you can hear the whole thing as it is. that's a lot of fun actually. Yeah, it's like a little, I don't know, it's like a little sports car. Yeah, like a little fast, fancy, streamlined little chanter. Just maybe off the back of playing it, one thing that I'm noticing is probably a me problem, probably, but I'm finding that I'm using like a leather on my knee, a popping strap, and I'm finding maybe with the plastic on it, it's not giving me as easy a seal. Or maybe it's just because I'm used to playing with chanters that have like the little valve at the bottom. It'd be kind of a tricky thing to make if you're trying to 3D print it, I suppose. Yeah, maybe like a little metal ferrule on the bottom would help with that. Or maybe, like I said, it's probably just a me thing. But yeah, I just find myself being a bit finicky, not putting it down as much. Maybe it's a weight thing, or maybe it's just I'm not used to the chanter really. This is my first handful of tunes on it there. But overall, very impressive. Yeah, very impressive. Very cool. Happy with that. There we go. All right, what did you think of that one? Pretty decent, right? Yeah, 3D printed chanter. Never thought I'd see the day. Yeah, I mean, if you told me whenever I was a kid that you could just print your own pipes off at home and then you'd be flying on them, God, I don't know. Never would have believed it. So yeah, there we are. The quest for affordable Uilleann pipes, certainly on the move. It's getting a move on. We're getting some decent quality instruments at decent affordable prices. Yeah, I guess a large part of this one, I suppose, is the reed. Like, it's a decent reed in here, and I mean, we're at the stage at the minute where there's loads of good reed makers out there, and loads of people are making reeds with quite reasonable prices as well. Like, imagine you could buy the chanter without a reed and just put your own reed in there if you wanted. I haven't actually tried this one on my reeds. Maybe I'll do that in the future. But for now, this reed here, my only problem with it is it probably just needs playing in a bit more, or maybe sometimes just playing around, tweaking it, maybe a little bit of sand here and there. The kind of thing I'm maybe reluctant to do because it's sounding in tune enough within itself, and it's giving me all the right sort of sounds. So you probably heard during like the coned heifers, I was pushing it a little bit towards maybe getting some of those more atonal Willie Clancy sounds that I really like, but maybe not so many people like those. Maybe it's not what you're after, but this chanter will do it, and it'll do the other ones as well. But yeah, the normal sounds, I suppose, is what we're looking for. Yeah, it does the normal sounds well, and then you can push it into the atonal sounds should you decide that's what you want out of your instrument. All in all, yeah, really happy with this. Super cool. Thanks very much, Lucas, for making me a beautiful Michael 3D Uilleann chanter. Very happy overall. Yeah, can't believe that this is the kind of thing that we can get in this day and age, just print it off and, you know, bit of a paint job in there, make a nice reed for it, and away we go. So overall, yeah, you should be very happy with that one. Yeah, big congrats, and looking forward to see what else you can turn up. And yeah, I know Lucas isn't the only person doing 3D printed chanters out there, but he's the only one who's came up to me at the festival in West Wales and put one on my hand to try out, and I was just blown away by it. So yeah. Anyone else making 3D chanters? If you want me to, like, you know, test them for you, see how they get on, send them over. I'll give you my honest opinion. Yeah, that should be us for today. Yeah, just a nice simple one. I want really, like I said, I've had this in my backlog for a while. I just wanted to spend some time with it and show it off to you so you can all have a look at it and see what it's like, see what the fuss is about 3D printed stuff. So yeah, if you got this far, you enjoyed the video, hit the like. If you had a go at making any 3D printed stuff yourself or tried any of these sort of things, you can leave me a comment, and always love checking the comments. I'll see you all again later, and yeah, and thanks again for hitting the 2,000 subscribers. Mad, it's blown my mind, blown my little mind. Yeah, see you again, and take care of yourselves, and happy piping.